Hello and welcome to Tip of the Week by CAD Tech Seminars and thebimguys.com. You can find out more about us on the web at thebimguys.com. This week we're going to talk about adding a top plate or a sweep to an existing or new wall. Sometimes you have walls that have some weird things going on. Like for instance, this is coming over here, I've got some weird connection here, I have a slope here. How can I have something trace along the face of that element? Now you can use what's called an embedded wall sweep, and that would work to place it here. You could also go to architecture and use what's called a wall sweep, but you'll notice that when I place the wall sweep, it is horizontal. There's no angles to it. So see, I have limited capabilities with these elements. Also, I cannot snap it to the top of that wall. So what do we do in this scenario? We take out our custom tools and we're going to build a in-place family. To do that, I'm going to go up top to component and I'll place model in place. Now when you choose model in place, first thing it's going to ask you is what category is it associated with. I'm going to say it's a wall component. And then what is it? I'm going to say top plate. Now this is also gives you the ability to quantify it if you want to quantify it. There it is, top plate. And then I'm going to use a tool over here called sweep. Now what sweep does, it says you pick edges or draw lines to produce a path. And then what we do is once the path has been selected, then you draw or load in a profile and it creates the shape. So let's go through it now. So I'm going to say sweep. Now instead of me drawing the line, I'm going to use pick path. Now the nice thing about this is I can pick different paths like this edge here. I could come to this edge right here, and then I could even pick the edge slope down. Now they have to be connected. You see right here, if they weren't connected, it'd probably throw a fit. But I want you to notice that it goes down that wall. I could probably come back here and run along that whole back wall. Now, you don't want to have two lines on top of each other. You may have saw when I clicked, I have two lines on top of each other. I'll delete it. So you'll see how it starts at one elevation, actually follows down and goes to a different elevation and goes around the back. Now, you can trace all kind of things. I could come up this wall if I wanted. So it follows a path. Now I'm going to hit OK on that. And so I've now defined the path that I wanted to follow. And it could come in here and come around and do whatever you want. I'll show you another one in a moment. But then you say Edit Profile. Now, if you have loaded in dimensional lumber, like a 2x8, you'll notice that it shows the 2x8 sitting here, you'll see. Now, by using the rotate and the angle and the offset, I could set that piece of element, or that 2x, on its side without a problem. There's another tool you can use though. You can go to, instead of actually picking a predetermined one, I find this just as easy. Let me sketch it. So now using a sketch tool, I hit Edit Profile. So now I can draw in whatever I want. So if I want this to be, let's say, a 2x8, I could drag it and I'll type in 7.5 inches, okay? And then how tall do I want it? Let's say this is a special piece of material. Let's say it's 4.5 inches, okay? Just to show you that you don't have to use what comes with Revit. Again, it's a tool, it would be custom, and then I close the shape. Now once the shape is closed, now Revit's going to say I'm going to take this purple line here, and that becomes your new profile. So we have two things going on. We have a path and we have a shape. When I hit finish, you'll notice how it ran that shape all along the edge here. So notice how the shape is following it, which is awesome. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish the model. And now what you have is that shape following it. So let's check it out. Let's go ahead and cut a section. I've got a section this way. Let's go ahead and cut another section in the opposite direction. So I'll go up top to the view. I'll start the section command. And I'll pick maybe here and come across. Alrighty. Now let's just go ahead. I'll make a shallow cut. Let's check it out. So there it is. See how I put that shape in there? Now if I put a measurement on it, you'll see that it is exactly 7.5 by what I think we had earlier, which was 4.5. So that is called a sweep. Very easy to manipulate. If you had to add some material to it, you'd go back into the family, edit in place, and when I select the item, notice it will let you select materials. So if you had to color code it or add some type of finish, you could do that there. So there you go. That is tip of the week, using in-place sweeps to accommodate weird scenarios in Revit.